This is the gathering of members of the Old School Drinking Podcast. You might ask why you're doing a new podcast considering the millions that exist. Our goal is simple to encourage people to gather in neighborhood bars and talk. Talk not only to people who agree with you, talk to people who think you're an idiot. Understand that the only way we will survive as a society is if we can get beyond our various camps and identities. This is why we're here, to save an institution that historically brought us together. Also, we like to drink. Welcome to Old School Drinking, number 16. We're at the Oasis. The co-hosts are John and Joe, and we have Rockie, one of my friends for a few years. She's my wife. We've been married 55 years.
The bitter half.
Yes. This is going to be an abbreviated.
We're doing a short New Year's run. We're not doing a full discussion, but we were going to run through and bitch about the news.
Especially considering what's happened in the news this last few weeks.
The last 8 hours.
You are correct. We will start with hyper news. So, first, what are we drinking? I got that.
I'm back to the Shiner.
And we're drinking the Orchard Park Bitter, both of us, which we have become addicted to thanks to John.
The Goose Island? ESB?
Yes, the Goose Island. Okay.
The ESB, yes.
It's good.
I know, and it's almost gone.
Is it?
Are you going to reorder?
I don't know.
It didn't move fast enough?
Well, the funny part is we're probably going to switch the tap over to a different distributor who has a different ESB.
Well, that would be okay.
That looks like it might be good. So
Okay.
we may end up with another ESB.
That would be good. Since we have now gotten used to this, I mean, we're having that, and let's see. Let's do hyper local news.
All right.
One
What do you got?
one of the weird things that happened that was very bizarre, as far as I'm concerned. Last week, the power went out,
Okay.
which in the winter around here is not a good thing.
No, normally no.
It means that your your heating system goes out. And it doesn't matter whether you have coal, natural gas, electric, nuclear power. If it goes out, it goes out, and everything basically stops. So I was going someplace. I walked out, and the Con Ed person, the person from the power company, was out there. And I didn't say anything initially because I didn't want to be an asshole. I mean, he probably had answered the question 50 times already.
Yeah.
But he came back, and there were a couple of us there, and he said, and I quote, "This was a scheduled outage. We turned it off so that we can do tree trimming." Now, let me set the stage for everyone here. The temperature was 10 degrees with a 15-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, this is something that could have been done in like July.
Spring or fall or summer or even fall.
Yeah.
But this time of year is possibly the stupidest thing that you could do, mainly from the standpoint that as a former maintenance person in some ways, you know that when you turn the power off and then turn it back on, not everything comes back up. And for example, the street light that was on the corner of Lunt and Sheridan went out and went into they had to put stop signs out, basically. But then they couldn't get it back up. So for probably another day, they were there dinking around with the traffic light with stop signs on it. Now, around here, a stop sign on a major street like that is
Yeah.
not exactly a really good thing.
Yeah. people forget how to drive, and especially when it's a 4-lane road.
Exactly.
People
So,
get really stupid really fast.
so it could have been a real problem just from that standpoint. But also, people's other systems could have not come up too.
Yeah.
So I just think that, number one, they really didn't do a good job of telling everyone it was going to happen. I got the information after it happened.
Yeah.
But number two, it's really a stupid time of year for doing it just from the worker's standpoint. I mean, climbing up on ladders in that weather
It's a little stupid. Yeah.
is really not the brightest thing in the world.
Well, you don't like climbing up icy ladder rungs?
Into a wind that grows in velocity the higher up you go.
Uh-huh.
We won't talk.
Yeah,
go
no,
into
that's kind of extra stupid. Also, I got to be honest, Commonwealth Edison lost all of my, how shall we say, confidence many, many years ago. And I also have very strong opinions about, public utilities and how they're managed. And I think that Illinois' public utilities really do kind of suck.
Well, I'm not gonna. I've only been here 6 years, so I don't know about their history.
It
I
pretty
do
sucks.
know that one of the positive things that's happened in hyperlocal news is it's warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, today was a balmy 35,
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, it hit 40 in spots.
Okay, there you go. So.
And,
And
yeah.
for people that don't live here, that seems like, well, 40 is a low in a bad part of the winter. Well, for us, 40 means we're not wearing the heavy coats anymore.
Yeah, we stripped down to sweatshirts, and it's like, oh hey, this is great.
Want to go swimming?
Well, yeah, it's like,
Well, we have people doing that.
after you have a week of actually below freezing, and especially when you get into single digits for an extended period of time, suddenly above freezing at all is like, it's so hot. Oh my gosh.
Well, it is.
I was running around in a t-shirt earlier today.
I walked my usual 1.25 miles to the grocery store, dragging my cart. And on the way home, I took my heavy coat off and just used my sweatshirt,
Yeah.
basically. So
You've
there's
acclimated to the
acclimation
cold.
going on. The bad thing is, in the 6800 North block of Sheridan, a pedestrian was hit this last week, which is not good.
Wait, another one or the one from 2 weeks ago?
I think that was probably from
It was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We didn't have an episode.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
no, we didn't. We're on hiatus for the holidays, and yeah, man was hit while he was getting out of an Uber.
I did not know that. I thought that
he got out on the
On the-
driver's side, if I remember right, and
someone clocked
it
him.
was not a hit and run. The person who hit him did stop. They did the best they could for him, but
Did he die?
yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's the reason I always have you get out on the outside.
Always get out on the
You go
passenger
first,
side
honey.
of the car.
I'm right behind you.
Don't jaywalk. Do not try to take a nap in the middle of Sheridan Road, which once I did.
Were you in the car?
No, I was just laying in the center lane line.
That's not good.
It was like, 4 in the morning on like some weird holiday, like Sunday night going into Monday, and Monday was off, and there was nobody on the road, so I just laid down. It's like,
Speaking of being
I wonder
too
if I can
hot,
get away with this.
You are crazy.
I was young, I was stupid, it was fun.
I'm just doing this because it's hot.
You still have that effect on. Good job.
If only it were so.
Uh-oh. There was talk of open marriages in a different conversation before we started. I'm not bringing that up.
You can.
Nah, I got better things to talk about.
Okay, the other thing that was interesting that happened in hyperlocal news was the city council passed the Leona's
Frickin'
zoning
finally.
change. Now, this is interesting as someone who has some city experience. Because it said then it's going to the planning commission.
Mm-hmm.
No city that I know of does it that way.
That's ass backwards.
Usually,
Welcome
it,
to Chicago.
usually it goes through the planning commission and then goes to the city council.
Yeah, don't ask me, man. I don't understand how this place
Well, it's
functions at all.
I'm not sure that it does.
Oh no,
looking
it
at
does. It does. Because after the planning commission, then it goes to the bribery council,
this.
and then it loops back around for a possible referendum vote that happens in a sub basement behind a filing cabinet in a little mouse hole, and eventually the building that's been effectively empty for the better part of a decade
Yes.
will finally be able to get knocked down and something useful put up in its space.
Although, I mean, Gigi does not believe that it's a really good building. The outside doesn't look that bad. Is it in that bad a shape?
I honestly don't know. I haven't been on the inside in a decade.
There we go.
I mean, it's an older structure. It probably is fine, but aside from opening it back up as a restaurant, like turning that into a dispensary just seemed like the dumbest thing to me. I'm sorry.
Well, we
The
won't
fact
talk
that
about
it's
that.
a whole bunch of parking spaces that have been sitting fallow. Those parking spaces could have easily been rented out on a
Yes.
monthly basis, and eased up a little bit of the parking problems we have in this neighborhood. But that's
Well,
me
if
complaining
everybody
about
would get
parking.
rid of their cars, we'd be okay.
You know what? I'll get rid of my car as soon as I get my jetpack.
Well, that's not the point. I was being
Oh, that's my
sarcastic.
point.
You know,
I want my jetpack.
John was nice
I
enough
want my
when we
jetpack.
don't have cars to take me on a little trip this weekend, and we won't
We
talk
did a
about
road
that.
trip to Michigan, and we bought stuff that you can buy here, but there's less taxes. Which means that we brought stuff across state lines. Haha, screw you, Indiana. You got nothing.
Oh God! Now they're on the lookout for us.
Only if the AI picks up on what we're talking about. We're talking about candy bars.
On the local news front,
Yeah.
there was an article saying that the murder rate in Chicago is down, and it was.
Well, there were fewer murders overall last year.
Yes, but this brought back
So I guess
our
we're not
episode.
doing our jobs
Well, no, this brought back our episode with Walt and his discussion of manipulation.
Our serial killers are not doing their jobs.
That may be so.
Yeah,
Maybe they
so-
filled their basements with bodies already.
So the conversation with Walt, where we talked about
Manipulation.
being able to twist your data into whatever it is that you want it to be
That's
Well-
the nature of data.
by saying, "Hey, it's statistics," and
Well, the thing that obviously is the problem with this is all statistics in crime are based on how many in 100,000, because you want to make
Yeah.
sure that the data is all
murders per million.
Yeah, is all, it works from the
Across,
smallest town
yeah.
to the biggest
Sure.
town. The problem with it was by saying it said in the article that this was the lowest total since 1965. And so Joe, in his own way, did research and found all sorts of stuff that wasn't true, which John
AI
basically
synopsis.
which John beat me over the head with.
I just
But
said, I don't think
in
that's right.
1965, the population was about 3.7 million. It's about 2.7 million now. So comparing the two numbers and saying that the number we have now is equivalent to the number that it was in 1965 is a lie by a lot. It's like they're in a position that it would have been, what, 30% less, something like that, than presently, meaning we would have to adjust it for it being 1 million less people for it to be relevant. So that being said, the data currently is reasonable because we know it was down 35% from the year before. So that from my standpoint was a reasonable statistic because you're dealing with data in the same time frame.
Okay.
So on one hand, we are happy that it was a good year as far as that's concerned. I thought it would be interesting at some point to talk about why. Because I think part of what's going on is we had a change in the DA.
Okay.
And the DA is much more let's lock them up oriented than the previous one. So it could be that actually some of that is a result of the change in how they deal with arrested people. Maybe, maybe not. We will see over time.
Don't know. Would have to do some more research.
There you go. And probably using AI.
I'm also now interested in what the numbers look like across the rest of the state.
I think, see, one of the crazy things is since the 90s, almost all crime has gone down.
Mm-hmm.
Because during the 90s you were dealing with crack cocaine and the fact that distribution of illegal narcotics was based on what corners you could control.
Okay.
So there were a lot more shootings based on that. Now, as we've talked about, most of that is internet delivered sorts of stuff rather than.
Okay, I'm gonna call you on that one and say that is a questionable take. Was the gang drug trade responsible for a large percentage? Yes, but it wasn't all.
Oh no, I would say
I would
that that's
also
probably
say,
true.
in my own personal experience, just in the last 30 years, regular outbreaks of any violence have dropped considerably.
Yeah.
Young people these days don't beat the living shit out of each other the way that my generation did. I haven't been punched in the face in this bar in 15 years. For the first 10 years I hung out here, it was at least once a year I'd get punched in the face.
Well, we can arrange that if you want, if
I'm
it makes
just saying,
you feel better.
We don't have fights in here anymore.
No, what interests me about this is usually I'm the one is the geezer of the group who talks about things like this.
The good old days where we beat the crap out of each other with lead pipes for fun.
The boomer yields to the
Gen X is like, there's not enough violence in the world anymore.
and they don't use Marcus of Queensberry anymore. Go outside and put up their
No.
tubes like everyone else.
No, we don't do Queensberry rules. No, that's an interesting take though, and I would like to explore that one further in the future.
We could do that.
Let's put that in the hat for conversation.
We've got lots of stuff in the hat. We just need to get some people that
I
actually
got
know
somebody,
what they're talking
I got
about.
somebody we can bring in for that one.
Okay.
She's a
What I
professor
was
of criminology over at Loyola.
What I was
Oh,
thinking,
cool.
that would be a good one to bring Walt back to.
Actually,
'Cause
let's get Walt against
that's what I'm
the
thinking
professor.
because Walt is technically a professor too.
Perfect. We'll pit them against each other.
That's I would think we could have something that would be a battle royale here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Walt
Tune in
doesn't.
later. It's gonna be fun.
Now, national news.
Now we get into the fun stuff.
This is really the reason we're doing this podcast, not
Oh,
because
wait.
of this stuff.
So we're talking about me,
On what here?
week after week, still more stupid.
Yeah, no, not you. We're talking about what's going on with our national government. What I put down is week after week, still more stupid. As the rundown on this, and this was before our. They've called it an invasion, but it really isn't that. It's a kidnapping.
Well, and a bunch of extrajudicial killings.
Right. Where we killed a
on
bunch
top
of
of a
Cubans
bunch of
that were guarding
killings.
him and that sort of thing. But we did not go in and try and take the country over. We sent a bunch of people in and blew a bunch of shit up. Excuse me for.
No,
French.
we can swear now. That's fine.
And
This is an adult zone.
dropped a bunch of people in to grab somebody and took them out. We did not land thousands of troops anyplace and try and take the country over. Although our fearless leader, the Orange Man, now is acting like we did and that we're in charge now.
Yeah, as if we have conquered the nation, and it is ours to do with as we please.
And first of all, there's a juxtaposition that happened here that's really interesting. We went down and grabbed a guy that is not under indictment anyplace
Well.
for being a criminal, while we were feting Benjamin Netanyahu here, who had to
been-
fly around to make sure he didn't fly into
Any place where he
airspace
would get nabbed.
But would shoot him
because
down.
he's well, or would grab him, because he is under indictment for war crimes. Now, does anyone else think that this is a strange
Well,
thing?
the fact that he's also been, ducking and dodging all the corruption charges in his own country for the last, 15 years?
Yeah.
Well, we have a president that's been
And now
doing
we've got,
that too.
exactly, like the two countries with the most corrupt leadership that I can think of, followed shortly by, North Korea.
So my question
Russia.
is, does this make us a pariah state?
It should.
What it does, that's again an expectation that the Nimrods in Washington haven't figured out, is it basically gives carte blanche to Russia and China.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
and I'm surprised that China's not already, walking through Taiwan,
Yes.
because that's coming.
And there's going a little more deeply into the weeds. There are actually people, pundits as they were. Who, I don't know, where did pundit come from as a word? My English major.
It's probably, I'm almost certain that it comes out of India.
Pundit.
Oh, I had not thought of that. Interesting. Anyway, pundits are saying now that Trump is actually dividing the world up and saying that that North and South America are ours, along with Greenland and Canada, obviously, and that Russia can take Europe, no big deal, and the Chinese can basically take Asia. That's going to be okay.
She was right.
What? It is?
Yeah.
Good job. We need someone
From
with
the
a brain
Hindi
here.
word, pendant. Not bad, lady.
Why, thank you.
And this is after drinking for a while.
State-dependent learning.
It is so insane.
Oh yeah.
Who in the world thought that this was a good idea?
Well, I want to know who floated this one to begin with, and then Bubba Hexeth is like, yeah, let's do it, yeah.
Well, considering what we've been told, and I have no reason to disbelieve this, it's generally the last person he talks to that basically
Trump or
sets
Hexeth?
up. Yeah, Trump. That gets the job done.
Yeah, but
So they're all running
I
for the
still-
back of the line all the
Exactly.
time?
I still want to know, whose idea this one was.
Well, it is so beyond crazy. I cannot believe it. Does he not believe that this gives other people carte blanche to kidnap him?
Well, that's the thing.
I mean,
Hell, I'd open the door for him.
You and 40% of the population of the country. 30% wouldn't do shit. The other 20% would lay down their lives for him.
well, and see, there are laws, rules, agreements about things. And part of it is you don't go into another country and kidnap their elected leaders. Now, you can argue about whether Maduro was an elected leader and all sorts of other things.
You're not supposed to go into other countries without permission and do anything in the first place. We're also not supposed to assassinate people. We're not supposed to,
We've done that?
invade other people. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
come on.
I'm kidding.
And it was bad enough when we were doing it and hiding the fact. Now it's just legitimized and
Well,
we
there were
sent in SEAL
times-
Team 6 and we killed Bin
There were
Laden
times
because we could.
There are times that we weren't hiding it very much, mostly in this hemisphere,
Oh yeah.
where we would send the Marines in because United Fruit or some other
Or
organization
Exxon or-
that wanted to make sure that they
Shell.
didn't have to pay anybody.
Right. And now that's kind of what we're doing again.
Which, and
Except we didn't kill him. We brought him back here so we could put him
see,
on trial.
there is a subtle
I
problem
can't wait to
here,
see this
though.
trial, though.
There's a subtle difference here. Well, I think one of the problems they have is, why would they put it in New York, you stupid people? You're going to be getting a jury pool that is not really in a position they like you very much. It would have been smarter to do it in Miami, where you would have maybe even gotten some Venezuelan expats, Cuban expats, and things like that. But in New York,
it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
in New York, this seems like, well, the whole thing is Keystone Cop-ish. And I'm not saying that about the people in our military, because as usual, they perform very well.
Yeah.
I'm when you have someone
We have the best
running
funded military
things,
of all of human history.
well, okay, the Spartans would argue.
We have the best funded military.
Okay, that definitely is true.
That's what I said.
Anyway, I don't want to beat this to death. We're going to be talking about this for weeks and weeks, because I will tell you something else will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to now basically
all waiting for the
kidnap
next shoe.
Carney in Canada to
Declare war on the United States.
basically?
Do you know if they actually had the Senate vote for
They have not.
limiting the war powers that the one guy was saying that he was going to push through?
They passed it by unanimous in the House, which
Yeah.
is unbelievable, and the Senate will be interesting, because you have to have 60
'Cause
people.
I
bring
know
it
that
forward.
the guy was going to force the vote like either today or tomorrow. I don't remember if it had happened yet.
I don't think that's happened so far.
What are they voting on?
Well, that he
Basically
couldn't have done what he did.
Making it so if he does anything stupid like this going forward, he's got to get congressional approval instead of just,
Which he
Wild
should have
Westing it.
anyway. I mean, it's Congress's.
That's Congress's
yeah. And-
responsibility.
but
It's
he's
not
been-
the
Declare war.
president's.
The executive's been usurping everybody's power, and nobody's done shit because the fucking Republicans are a bunch of pussy-ass motherfuckers.
That was some swearing.
I kept thinking about back in history when FDR went to Congress and requested a declaration of war.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been that goddamn long.
No. Shit. Even
Even LBJ got the Tonkin Gulf resolution. So
and even Bush and Cheney went to Congress before we went and invaded Iraq, even though that was a really dumb thing to do.
well,
Which brings up the point that it's not that damned hard to do it the way you're supposed to do it.
do you have a bar story?
No, I'm calling somebody.
Bar stories.
Okay, now we talked about the juxtaposition between Maduro and Netanyahu. That I think is the weirdest thing about this. To beat our chest and act like holy cats, we're doing things to take care of a drug runner, which hasn't been proven yet.
What are you talking about? Drug?
Maduro.
Oh, Maduro. Okay.
But
The
on the
bullshit
other hand,
excuses that
on the
we've
other
been
hand,
given.
we've welcomed with open arms somebody that basically has been indicted as a war criminal.
Amongst
committed
a
genocide.
bunch of other things.
As far as corruption inside Israel itself.
He's a terrible person who's been clinging to power for a very long time, and we've bent over backwards to help him for whatever ungodly reason.
Okay, and then I think the final thing
And
that I
to-
want to talk about.
Just for clarification, I am not an anti-Semitic person. I have
Oh,
many
neither am I.
many Hebrew friends. I may not be a person of faith myself, but there's a big difference between being against a government and being against a nation and being against a people. And I'm only against the particular government of Netanyahu right now.
I think that goes without saying. I grew up with many members of the Jewish community, played with them, They were kids in my neighborhood, and we all got along. Kids are not in a position they deal with religious issues usually.
Well, anybody who's carte blanche ordering the killing of men, women, and children
Is evil.
en masse does not deserve to have power of any kind, and
Nope.
he needs to be deposed as soon as possible. Also,
And then hauled before the Hague.
that'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Well, I mean, he is already indicted. I don't know how he's going to keep away from it forever. And I mean, I
Has
guess
the
he'll
Hague
spend.
indicted him?
I think so. Yeah, the international
Yeah,
court.
international court already has. Which
Well,
is why
they
he
need
can't.
to-
Which is why he can't go to a whole bunch of places in Europe.
We need to call them back into session and have a little discussion about the guy running the
We
United
also
States.
need to
That-
have.
this
Well,
may
we
be
also need to have the
something-
United States sign on to the treaties and
Yes.
actually give the international criminal courts our backing, as opposed to being like, oh, it's really good, but we're immune.
And we're not going to pay attention to it. Specifically because some of our presidents actually were brought forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the final thing in our abbreviated discussion. Does anyone else think that it was really bizarre to have the Christmas bash
Oh.
at Mar-a-Lago that they had with unbelievably the star act being what's his face, the Ice Ice Baby guy.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice was the star performer.
Really?
Yes, and
Oh,
they
man.
had videos of various cabinet members, including Kristi Noem, rocking out, singing along.
Because oh god.
Kind of makes you want to.
dude.
Do you need to go to the restroom and throw up?
No, I'm just so disappointed in him. Like, I thought he was cool. I thought he was an idiot when he was popular back in the day, but he at least seemed to have a sense of humor about himself. I mean, I understand somebody's going to pay a bunch of money to, get up on stage and sing your, one-hit wonder song, but for God's
I'm sure
sakes,
he had to
dude.
do YMCA while I was up there too.
All right, sorry, Vanilla Ice, you're now on my shit list. That's just sad.
Well, and
I'm not about cancel culture,
Here-
but
here
yeah,
again-
you can go fuck yourself, buddy.
here again we have someone that is so tone deaf about the fact that you're having a Christmas party like this with your billionaire friends, and millions of Americans are losing their health care.
Well, it's also the same people who are like, prices are down, trust us. Like, yeah, they're not.
Well, not only are they
Well,
not
gas is. I
Not
will
the-
admit, gas is down a little bit
down
right
a little
now.
bit, but not
Oil's at a very low point right now, and watch price of oil go up, price of gas is going to go up because Venezuela's getting cut off, and we'll all have Trump to thank for that.
Well, there are all sorts of things that are going to happen now because guess what? Venezuela is a member of OPEC. It's more than Venezuela from the standpoint of oil. And you've got a lot of people in the Middle East that are a little gun shy, literally, about the United States.
Oh, sure. Rightfully so.
Yeah. So this whole thing is going to turn into a mess as usual.
Yeah.
And I just don't. You and I have worked in technical stuff, and whenever we did a project, did anything,
Yeah.
we would spend hours trying to figure out what could go wrong.
Sure.
If we put this conveyor in this way, if we put a shaker in, if we put a piece of equipment like a metal detector here, all that kind of stuff, we would literally spend months going over plans and trying to figure out, okay, if this happens, what can we do? Can we route someplace else?
Right.
All those sorts of things. We have a government in place now whose reaction and
Ready, shoot,
methodology is, yeah, exactly. Let's just do it, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. And they have not taken over the country of Venezuela, period. They've allowed them to mobilize now their reserves.
which still won't matter in the long run, but
They
it's
have
just
they have a 300,000 person organization.
the element of surprise, what there was of it,
Is
is
gone.
completely gone now. Which also is just going to be more of a strain on them because they're going to be burning through resources, waiting for us to do something. So
No, they're in a position that they can sit where we have all our people and supply lines stretched out all over the place. And even that's a problem. I cannot believe they obviously didn't talk to anybody in the Pentagon about invading a country like Venezuela and the problems that would cause.
well, we're not going to invade though. We're just going to, put a couple of ships off their major ports and block everything coming and going.
That's not going to work either because they're in the countries that border them are going to help them out with that.
Until we go and take them out too, and then we'll just end up wrapping all of South America and Mexico in
Well, that's another whole matter. I mean,
a
everybody's
series of
talking
aircraft
about
carriers, and then
about
all
us
of the
using
Pacific
special.
will be open, and then Japan can go and claim Pearl Harbor.
This could be so. So we're I think pretty much to the end now.
Yeah. There's plenty of other shit that's been going on.
There is, but all it does is depress you more.
The subsidies expired, so healthcare prices are going up. But the thing about the healthcare thing that annoys me is nobody's talking about why is healthcare so expensive in the first place.
Yep.
Why is it costs so much? Why are there such long wait times to get anything done? Every single thing that I've had explained to me as to why socialized medicine is bad, we already have that
Yeah,
problem.
right. That's the system we
It
got
doesn't
now.
fucking matter. Like, I'm supposed to go get a colonoscopy. The soonest they can get me in is August. August.
Hope you don't
it's
have
January.
cancer.
I might be dead by then. Like, this is pointless. Also, like, how much are the
Copays.
CEOs of all those healthcare companies making? How much
Less now than
how
they
much
used
dividends
to.
have been paid?
Less
now? Are you sure?
Yeah, because they're having to pay for more security now.
No, who's paying for that? That's the thing. The CEO ain't taking a pay cut for that.
No.
And I'm not saying murder is a good thing, but
No, but they're,
Luigi did have a point.
yeah.
We had a personal point too. I mean, he was having.
Yeah.
He was an agonizing pain
Yeah.
all the time. He's going to get off scot-free.
I don't think that will happen.
I think he will get a very reduced sentence.
I would agree with that.
Because everybody wants to kill him.
Well,
Well, just the CEOs.
he had it coming. It's not really a good. It's not really a good defense.
I'm gonna remember that if I ever do something and get caught. But he had it coming,
Anyway,
Yeah, so that's the whole thing, and not to mention the fact, like, I'm sorry, the way that the healthcare system works, as far as the hours people work and the
It's
shifts
just
they
absurd. It
pull, no
is
wonder they
absurd.
fucking burn out. No wonder they're all
Yeah.
fucking out of their mind all the
that there are
goddamn time.
millions of nurses that are
Every
outside.
single nurse I know has got a nicotine and a caffeine problem, minimally.
Yeah.
Most nurses I know are straight up alcoholics, and a couple of them, well, they go for the harder stuff. 'Cause that's how you get through. And I don't like the idea that my phlebotomist might be reusing the needles used on me on herself later.
Yeah.
It's-
'Cause needles are actually expensive after a while.
I just remember the idiocracy
Let's go to Starbucks.
Examination. No, Starbucks was
We don't
another
have
thing.
time for a hand job.
The which probe goes where? One in your butt, one in your mouth, and then reversing it was one of the classics of all time.
I always thought Idiocracy was kind of a documentary.
We all do.
Anyway,
It was a warning from the future. The problem is that's a better world than the one that we're in right now.
I know, it got
That's
a whole lot worse, a whole lot faster.
President Camacho actually listened to the smarter guy and saved the world. Our president doesn't listen to anybody.
well, let's just hope that someone doesn't suggest if there's a nuclear accident we should throw water on it. energy drink.
If there's a
actually.
flood, let's stop it with large blocks of sodium.
That wouldn't work.
I mean, it'd be cool.
So we appreciate people that have tuned into this abbreviated version.
Do we have a bar story? Anyway,
I really wasn't. I was doing everything else as far as these things. I wasn't thinking in terms of a bar story.
okay. I don't have anything off the top of my head right now, so.
We will try and find somebody
Alright.
that has.
I'm gonna have to start making a list of good ones, because God knows there have been plenty of good bar stories. In the meantime, I guess, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. This
We
is our
appreciate it.
first show of 2026.
And we appreciate that Rockie's been here and been able to help us with the history of the Raj.
You are now our official etymologist.
Well, I hope I can hold up my end of the log.
You done fine thus far.
So thank you very much.
Have a good one. Tune back in. We'll be back next week.